You're studying wrong, and you don't even know it. You sit for hours. You feel tired. You feel productive. But somehow, nothing sticks. And this is where most students get trapped. Because it feels like progress. But it's not. Nobody tells students this. You can study 8 hours a day and still fall behind. Think about that. Meet Oriv. Second year of college. From the outside, he looked disciplined. Always at his desk. Always with his books. Always studying. But inside, he felt stuck. Every day looked the same. Open notes. Highlight lines. Read again. And again. And again. Same page. Third time. Still nothing. Oriv checks his phone. Scroll. 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 3 hours gone. And during exams? You're sitting there, looking at the question. And your brain says, I've seen this before. But you can't remember anything. Then comes the worst part. Comparison. Friends scoring higher. Everyone looking like they have it figured out. And Oriv starts thinking, maybe I'm just not smart enough. But the truth? Oriv wasn't the problem. His method was. Most students are stuck in this loop. Reading, highlighting, rereading, forgetting. It feels like studying. It looks like studying. But it's not learning. It's just activity. Nobody teaches you how to actually learn. You're told to work hard. Not told how to make it work. So you depend on motivation. And motivation? It disappears the moment things get hard. One day. After another bad result. Something clicked. Oriv realized something uncomfortable. Hard work alone isn't enough. Because he was working hard. And still losing. That's when he stopped asking, how many hours should I study? And started asking, how do I study so it actually works? That question changed everything. First thing he tried. Active recall. Instead of reading again, he closed the book, looked away, and asked himself, what do I actually remember? Silence. Nothing. Blank. And this is where most students quit. Because it feels like it's not working. But that struggle? That discomfort? That's learning. Because when your brain tries to remember, it strengthens. Not when it just reads. Then Oriv did something different. He tried explaining the topic. Out loud. Like he was teaching someone. At first, he couldn't. He got stuck. Forgot points. Had to look back again. But slowly. Something changed. The more he explained, the clearer it became. Because if you can't explain something simply, you don't really understand it. Think about that. Then he tried something else. Spaced repetition. Instead of cramming everything in one night, he came back to the same topic. Day 1. Day 3. Day 7. At first, it felt slow. But then something changed. He didn't have to force it anymore. Things just stayed. And then came the biggest shift. The Cornell Method. Not fancy. Not complicated. But powerful. Oriv divided his page. Main notes on one side. Questions on the other. And at the bottom, he wrote everything in his own words. Then he did something extra. He used those questions to test himself later. And even explain them again. Now something changed. He wasn't copying anymore. He was thinking. Questioning. Connecting. Understanding. And this is where everything flips. When exams came, it felt different. Not easy, but clear. For the first time, Oriv wasn't guessing. He knew. This is what most students miss. Studying is not about time. It's about method. One student studies 8 hours and forgets everything. Another studies 2 hours and remembers. Who's actually ahead? It's not even close. Most students chase what feels productive. Few focus on what actually works. Most students never realize this. And here's the part that changes everything. The way you study is the way you live. If your study is passive, your life becomes passive. If you avoid struggle, you avoid growth. If you depend on motivation, you lose consistency. But when you build a system, everything changes. You don't rely on mood. You rely on structure. Now look around. Students scrolling for hours, saying they don't have time. Students highlighting everything, but remembering nothing. Students waiting to feel like it, instead of doing it anyway. And then there are a few, very few, who sit down, focus, struggle, repeat, every single day. No noise. No shortcuts. Just progress. That's the difference. Not intelligence. Not luck. But method. So the next time you sit to study, pause and ask yourself, am I actually learning? Or am I just pretending to? Because most students will never ask this question, and they'll stay stuck for years. But you can change that right now. If you want to actually start using this system, I've put all the templates and resources in the description. And if this made you think differently, subscribe.